control access to millions of viewers. When you control the narrative, you have power, real power. But that power didn't come from being nice on television. It came from something darker, something deeper, something connected to people and places most of us don't even want to think about. Ricky Gervais started noticing this years ago. He watched Ellen build her empire while former employees whispered about a toxic workplace. He watched her smile on camera while people who knew her personally described someone completely different.
She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced. People that are like that all the time, she doesn't seem nice. It's very forced. Accomplished, you're a comedian, you did the whole thing. What you're not allowed to do is have a Guantanamo Bay situation in the backstage.
Made it. People who could offer her everything she wanted. She trusted the wrong people.
You write about a moment in your career where a friend of yours takes you onto a boat. You're led to a room which has an older man in it, and then basically told to perform relax and,
Oh, yeah. Perspective completely shifted, and I realized that I was in danger. But by the time I'd realized I was in danger, I was quite literally out to sea.
Listen to that again. A friend, someone she trusted, someone she thought had her back. That person put her on a boat with an older man. There was nowhere to run. There was nowhere to hide. She was at sea. This places, the names, the timeline. You start to see Ellen's fingerprints all over it. Here's where it gets darker. In the same year Hayden was experiencing this trauma, Ellen DeGeneres was making specific choices about who she associated with, who she was seen with, who she welcomed into her circle. We know Ellen had connections to powerful figures, billionaires, politicians, Hollywood elite, people with unlimited access to young people with the resources to move quickly and quietly when scandals threatened to emerge. Most importantly, we know Ellen had demonstrated knowledge of the Epstein network years before Epstein's arrest. According to Ricky Gervais, Ellen wasn't just moving in the same celebrity circles as Epstein. She had direct knowledge of what he was doing. She understood the network, she understood how it worked, and more disturbingly, she participated in it. Steal kids. That phrase isn't accidental. That's not hyperbole. That's specific language used by people who understand trafficking networks, grooming operations, and the exploitation of minors. Ellen didn't just try to steal kids. Ellen allegedly used her platform, her talk show, her connections, tips with them. She gains their trust, and then, when the moment is right, she introduces them to the men in her circle, the powerful men, the men who know Epstein, the men who operate in that world. It's not just predation. It's a business model. Rumors. For years, people whispered about Ellen and Epstein, about Ellen's parties, about who she invited, about the nature of her relationships with certain powerful men. Everyone dismissed it as gossip, tabloid nonsense. But Ricky Gervais wasn't dismissing it. He was paying attention. He was connecting dots that nobody else wanted to connect. He was asking the questions that made powerful people uncomfortable. And then something happened. Something that made Ricky completely lose his composure. He found out about Hayden's connection to Ellen. He understood what had happened. He realized that Ellen didn't just know about Epstein's network, she was actively feeding girls into it. What makes the Epstein network so insidious is that it doesn't end with one incident, one boat, one room, one assault. Because after that trauma, the victim is already compromised. They're already confused. They're already doubting themselves. And that's exactly the psychological state that makes them vulnerable to a predator who offers them comfort. After her yacht experience, Hayden spiraled into a cycle of abuse that lasted for a decade. And in her own journal, which she finally shared publicly months before her death, she explained why she couldn't escape.
It took me a long time to finally see the situation clearly. I've had to do a lot of soul searching and therapy around this topic because allowing somebody to get away with harming me was so unlike me. The more I thought about it and